Following the end of World War II, the world did not find peace. Instead, it plunged into a new kind of conflict, the Cold War. This was a prolonged period of geopolitical tension, an ideological battle between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. From 1947 to 1991, these giants competed for global influence, armed with opposing ideologies, capitalism versus communism. There were no direct large-scale battles between them, but the struggle was fought through proxy wars, espionage, and a relentless arms race. The conflict began to take shape as the Iron Curtain descended across Europe, dividing the continent. The United States adopted a policy of containment to halt the spread of Soviet influence, leading to the Truman Doctrine and the Marshall Plan, which aimed to rebuild war-torn European nations and align them with the West. Early flashpoints, like the Berlin Airlift, demonstrated the West's resolve to stand against Soviet expansion without triggering a full-scale war. The tension escalated dramatically with the development of nuclear weapons. The world held its breath during the Cuban Missile Crisis, a moment when nuclear annihilation seemed imminent. This era was also marked by fierce competition in science and technology, famously known as the space race. The Soviet launch of Sputnik, the first artificial satellite, shocked the world. But the United States ultimately claimed a symbolic victory by landing the first humans on the moon in 1969. Meanwhile, proxy wars raged in places like Korea and Vietnam, where the superpowers backed opposing sides, causing immense devastation. By the late 1960s, a period of détente, or easing of tensions, began. The Strategic Arms Limitation Talks, SALT, led to treaties limiting the number of nuclear weapons, and for a time, it seemed a more stable coexistence was possible. However, the underlying rivalry remained, and the conflict reignited in the early 1980s. The final chapter of the Cold War was written in the late 1980s. Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced radical reforms, glasnost for openness and perestroika for restructuring. These policies unleashed forces that the Kremlin could not control. In 1989, the Berlin Wall, the most potent symbol of the Cold War, fell. 2 years later, in 1991, the Soviet Union itself dissolved. The Cold War was over, leaving the United States as the world's sole superpower and reshaping the global order for decades to come.